All right, we're going to be watching AllegedMango, who's going to be playing tank on Eichenwalde. We're going to be playing Sigma and Rammatra. This will be a mini review. I'm only going to cover the defense section, so the first half of the game. This is Plat 1 on, I think, PC. The game decided to put me in Plat. Yeah, I feel like a bronze player. What advice on playing tank can you guys give me so I might be able to feel like I belong in my rank? I'm a new player and only started at the launch of Overwatch 2. I recently started playing comp, and as the title says, the game put me in Plat 1 from Gold 2 for tank, despite being in low silver for the other two roles. Because of this, I'm playing with and against people who've probably been playing for years and are much more skilled than me, which ends up with me feeling like a toddler in a business meeting. I find that in games I win, it's because my team carries me, and when I lose, it's because I'm so unskilled compared to the enemy tank that my team stood no chance. Either way, I usually have at least 10 kills less and much more deaths than the enemy tank and the enemy team in general. I play Sigma and Rammatra and feel fairly confident with both. I know how to poke with Sigma and to keep distance from the enemy. However, I can tell that I'm doing something wrong. As for the tank role itself, I feel like I'm doing it completely wrong. I think I play too passively and focus on the enemy tank far too much. I also don't know how to properly position myself and take space when playing. I guess what I'm trying to ask is for any advice you can give to be a better tank and or player in general so I can actually feel like I belong in my rank and possibly climb further. Here are a couple of my replays, and then I end up picking the first one, which is a loss on Eichenwalde. This one was quote-unquote a defeat, and I was a complete failure this game, and I had no idea what I was even doing. So for starters, I think you have major imposter syndrome. This is something that comes up surprisingly a lot when people are like, oh, I got this rank, I totally do not belong in this rank, what the heck, help me out. I saw the first half of this game, and you look fine. Like, do I think that you look like a dominant player who's like gonna climb out this rank right away? No, right? But you don't look like you don't belong either. Like, you're not making terrible decisions. I think you're fine. Like, if you told me, yeah, I was like Plat 1, gave me no other information, I look at this, and be like, yeah, this feels about right. I think this is fine. Like, honestly, I see hundreds of replays, right? I would not have been able to pick out anything from this where I'm like, no, you are completely new. I mean, there's a couple ones where I'm like, you seem new because you attack like a diva bomb when it's exploding. But like beyond that, you look generally like you know how to play the game on the tanks that you chose at this level. Like you honestly, you do not look out of place at all. So I really wouldn't worry about it. Does that mean you can't improve? Absolutely. There's plenty of things you can improve on, but you don't look out of place. So like seriously, just feel good about that. Like I think you deserve your rank, right? Like if I was playing with you on your team, I wouldn't feel like you were like throwing the game or anything like that. I would also add that one of the things that will happen if you're new is that you might feel like good most. I mean, you feel maybe bad all the time, but what I find with new players is that you might do well most of the time, but you run into certain situations that you've never seen before because you haven't played enough, and you're like, I'm totally helpless. So, for example, common scenarios are when you run into ball, right, or really good balls or doomfists, and you're like, I have literally no idea how to play the game anymore because you just never run into them at lower ranks. And so when you run into a good ball doomfist at like let's say diamond or whatever, you just can't play the game anymore because you don't know how to deal with their constant pressure. Anyway, that's all on the side. Let's cover your actual gameplay. So we're going to start here. I would also add that your general reaction time, aim, mechanics look all fine to me, right? Like none of it strikes me as like being particularly problematic. I would not expect you to even be new to shooters based on your general movement and aim. Like you look at like someone who probably regularly has played competitive shooters in the past. Could be wrong about that, but that's the way it appears to me. Anyway, you lose your Junkrat here. This is absolutely not your fault. Junkrat's clearly crazy. I would not be playing up here. I don't think this is a good spot for Sigma. The reason being is you really want to cut angles down for your team. The problem is if someone like a Widow or Hanzo steps around this corner, they can just kill your team right now. You see, nobody can play this angle at all because you aren't here. If you're here, you can help shield, you can help body block shots, etc. Up here, not necessarily that valuable because again, like yeah, maybe you could shoot over shields, but you can't get headshots as Sigma, right? There's no headshot possible with hyperspheres, so you don't really need the high ground. And being down here, you can dump out plenty of damage, and then you get lifted by this, which I think makes your situation even worse. You drop right away, and then you put out shield. Again, who is the shield really protecting right now? Nobody. Your Ashe is to the right? Like you're standing here, you don't really need shield. You're full health. I think you just want to play main, right? And also, once your Junkrat dies, I'm already in retreat mode because it's impossible to hold this in a 4 and 5 situation unless your Ashe totally frags. So I would just play here, play for time, try to stall. Maybe the Ashe can get a pick and trade. Otherwise, I want to retreat to the backside of point and play for the retake. I would say retake. I would say the hold with the Junkrat returning, right, in another 5 on 5 situation. Again, very unlikely to win a 4 and 5. So you're going to make your second mistake of the game here, which is where you're going to use Grasp So I know the Bastion's shooting, but you're at full health right now, which means the Bastion's going to immediately stop shooting at you and shoot someone else. That's not good, right? You want the Bastion to shoot you. It's okay to take 100, 200 damage right here and then use Grasp. That way the Bastion doesn't immediately target, for example, your Ash. See? Well, actually, it ends right there, but either way, the grass is still wasted, right? That's an opportunity for you to do a lot more damage, and you didn't have that. I would have just shot right through that until the Bastion started getting me at least 60% health or so. You rock D.Va right away. I think that's okay. You've lost your other DPS now. You need to back up. So, this is your third mistake. You decide to step forward now instead of backing up. You're down both of your DPS. It is now a 5-on-3. There's no way to win this fight. You are extremely lucky that you do not get punished for this. So they're going into you. Again, if I was D.Va, I would just simply fly behind you and then kill you right now. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Right? You grasp. This is a good time to grasp, right? Obviously, this is buying you a ton of time. Gives you a lot of shields, right? Gives you time to come back up. You're purple. You get super low. You get gripped, right? Life does a good job saving you. Put you up top. Mercy does a res. You get low. Again, team doing a really great job keeping you alive. Your support's honestly doing an excellent job considering the situation. I would not want to play out here. I think playing even right here when I have 193 health, like there's not a lot you can do. Like it's great to take this space, but against the Bastion, I think it's pretty tough. So your shield, I would have rocked the Bastion as soon as he went into tank form, right? Assault form right now is a good rock to make sure that he doesn't kill your Mercy, which is almost what happens there. Forces her back. You grasp right now. You rock, but then you don't commit to actually rocking. You could just stay here. You have plenty of health right now, right? Because you have the overhealth as well. You're at 596. You need to be more aggressive to get a kill. In this situation, down 2, you need to get kills to win this point. The time here is irrelevant, right? If you try stalling here for time, you're only going to buy, 5, 10 more seconds than you would if you're trying to get kills. You should be focusing on getting kills. Very, very important. Recognizing, do I win this fight if I stay alive, or do I only win this fight if I get kills? This is a situation where you only win this fight if you get kills. At the bridge, your win condition is to stay alive, right? Get all the way back, reset, get another 5-on-5 fight here. Now that you're here, your back's against the wall, the point's going to cap, you have to get kills here to win this fight. So you should be focusing right now, attacking the Bastion, right? 1, 110 damage. Rock, that's another 80. Yeah, it's 80 now, right? 80 damage, and then another 2 Hyperspheres, 1, 2. That's going to be 300 damage even, which is basically enough to kill the Bastion. Okay? Like, no one's healing the Bastion. Like, this is definitely a possible kill opportunity. And then you're just playing 2 passive right now. Go for D.Va. Unfortunately, there's no way you can stop the D.Va. She's full health, and you have no rock. There's no way you can stop her at this point. You should just be trying to trade kills here. Not that this, like, I mean, the chance of you winning this fight is now like 1%. But, try to get kills, whatever you can do. They're going to push through. All right. Yeah, just die. I mean, at this point, the fight's lost. Okay, you're going to come out here. So the correct call would not be to go to the right. Again, you have plenty of time here. You should have gone left and out this way and then play here, right? Play main, play with your team, right? Protect them, apply pressure, slow down the cart. That's your perspective here. You end up kind of waffling. You're going to go over here. They're down 1 right now, right? You just saw that as a kill. It's a 5-on-4. I want to push and I want to stop this cart right away so they don't get any further progress. Otherwise, that kill's not going to mean anything, right? Hanzo responds, just catches up to the cart anyway. I need to push forward right now to stop the cart. This doorway is a terrible place to push out because you can get shot from all sides, okay, including high ground here. So don't push out this doorway. Push out, like, here is okay, this is better, right? Gives you plenty of space. You're not a close range hero. Use your 22-meter long range to attack people. So you see, you're not stopping the cart at all. No pressure's being applied to the cart. Nobody cares. They're just ignoring you. Cart's continuing to move. You see the Bastion's taking a ton of space here. You should be out here, and now your Cassie's low, which means he's not peeking. Thankfully, he starts peeking right away. You're going to grasp here incorrectly. As a quick reminder for Bastion, he has 6 seconds in tank form, 10 seconds in recon form, assault form, right? So 6 seconds assault form, 10 seconds in recon form. So when the 6 seconds are up, you need to push super aggressively to take space back because you have 10 seconds to do whatever you want. They're basically fighting 1 player down. But when he's about to go into assault form, you need to already be near cover so you can take cover once he pops it again. You use grasp. This is a huge waste, right? You could have done 220, 330 damage during that period of time. You need to... I don't actually know there's not a lot you can do at this point. The problem is you're too close to the enemy now. You see how the D.Va's up close on top of you doing a lot of damage, and they all have angles to attack into this doorway. right? And the Hanzo has flanked you from the side. If you were down here in main, this never happens. You're squashed into a small space with no angles, and now you're basically dead. All right, we're gonna reset. You guys are actually gonna end up holding second for a really long time. So right here. So you need to get out. Like, your perspective, I have to walk out this door. Like, there's no point in trying to stay alive here. I need to walk out this door. Throw a shield if you have to, right? I think also just grasping straight out would have been fine as well, just to buy time, right? You have to get out here, and you need to take some space. If you sit here, your team is not going to be able to support you at all. You need to step forwards. Doing flux here is the worst call. So, generally, just popping naked flux with no advantage, having not forced any cooldowns, is almost never going to work. There's a lot of options they can do. So, for example, Hanzo can just simply jump away from this. Mercy could GA out of this, right? Everyone can be healed by the Ana. Almost no way, right? Sigma Flux is not a good opener to a fight. You really need to burn some cooldowns, health, resources first before using Flux. I would not recommend using Flux first to open fights at all. Second, you heard Bash and ulti get popped. You know your whole team is clumped here, which means that these shots are going to come straight down. Right? That plus Hanzo Dragon means that this is just, yeah, and then you go back into the Hanzo Dragon, it's all just bad. Miraculously, your team ends up holding this. You're going to come out as Rammatra, so now let's talk a little bit about Rammatra. Alright, you're going to be here, you're sitting on cart, that's fine. You go up here, poke, this is fine. Yeah, poke out the sniper, that's fine. Aim for head, right? Don't jump. Don't worry about jumping, okay? It's much more important you land hits on her than to avoid her shots on you. Realistically, as a tank, it's almost impossible to dodge Widow shots, right? Once you get to a certain level, Widows will never miss a tank. The only question is, do you get headshot or not? So I would not worry about dodging her. I would worry about trying to kill her as fast as possible with my staff, which is not impossible because there's no damage fall off for you. You do 100 damage per second, 200 damage if you're hitting them in the head. You can kill Widow really quickly when she's scoped, like surprisingly fast. Just aim at head level and go left and right like this. D.Va's here, you back away from her, which is the right call. Right, she DMs and goes down. The problem right now is staying up here is bad, sort of bad, right? You're holding high ground, but eventually you're gonna have to stop main. But once they start rotating, I have to start rotating myself. Okay, so we lost 2. I'm leaving. Down here, resetting, playing backside of point. Same thing on first point, right? If I'm down, there's no way for me to win this fight anymore. Just go back, reset. Cassie gets a kill up here. Great. But you see, you really should have gone back there. You had the pop Nemesis just to get here in time. So you rotated too slowly. Don't worry so much about Vortex. You throw Vortex a lot, and I think that you're trying to use it maybe for the extra damage. Vortex only does 15 damage a second, which is basically useless, even against squishies. There's no reason to throw Vortex for damage. Throw Vortex when people do not want to be where they currently are. So catching people when they're crossing a choke, for example, shooting people down with staff and using Vortex to make headshots easier, right? Preventing people from flying or jumping away. Those are good uses for Vortex. In a one-on-one duel against the D.Va, just save it. It's not going to help you at all. Right? Just focus on the punches. I would not jump, right? You want to use Rammatra's punches like a shotgun, right? So like a pump action shotgun. Peek, punch, hide. Peek, punch, hide. Peek, punch, hide. Don't stay sustained out in the open because then she will murder you because she does more damage than you do. A lot more. Punches actually lower your damage per second. A lot of people do not realize that. Punches lower your damage per second from 100 to 80. And punches can't headshot. Right? So against tanks, staffs actually do more damage than punches do. So you're here. You're quite lucky the D.Va doesn't focus you down, but that's fine. She's going to throw bomb here. So I would have immediately ran into this doorway and covered with bomb. You decide to take the longest path away. I also would have popped Nemesis right. Like, if you did this, if I did this, I would pop Nemesis right now and then turn and just block to make sure I didn't die to this. Because D.Va Bomb can do up to 1,000 damage, which might have killed you here. And that would have been a very silly way to lose this point. So this is a great opportunity for Vortex. Right? So Hanzo's out here. This shield, not helpful. That's another thing that you do. This is a very common problem for Rammatra. They just throw shield just to throw shield. Don't throw shields unless you actually need it. He's not even looking at you, right? This is a great time to throw Vortex and then start attacking the Hanzo because he does not want to be here anymore, Okay, you throw Vortex here. If it's already at his feet, he tries to jump away. The jump doesn't go anywhere. You just murder him with your staff. That's what should have happened here. You also give up on attacking too early, too soon. You do this a lot. You have 44 ammo left and a shield up. You're invincible right now. Just use it. Just farm ult charge, right? Farm ult charge, maybe get a kill, but farm ult charge is the minimum. So you take that headshot. So a Vortex would have been a great one at this corner because that would have discouraged him from peeking here and allow you to do more damage against him. You get low right now, you need to pop Nemesis. You decide not to pop Nemesis. I think you're trying to put shield down, but this is a very sloppy death, right? You had Nemesis this whole time. At any moment in time, you could have popped Nemesis right now to not die. You're going to come out again. Again, amazing that your team is managing to hold this. I don't really know how this is possible. So your perspective here should just be, look, just play for time. You're not going to win this fight with you and Lucio. Just play time. Just stall. I don't even need to do that much damage here. Just stall. Keep your health up as much as you possibly can. Stall, 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 stall. Another great example of a shield that doesn't actually do anything. You shielded assuming they were going to fight you on right side, but they're going left side. You should have just stayed here, waited for them to push into you, then put down your shield. Right? Yep, this is fine. Right? Your team's starting to regroup. You have short spawn, which is great. So you have numbers coming out right now. Yeah, see, you have all 5. They only have 4. You have to attack. I wouldn't even bother attacking the Mercy in the air. You stop attacking the D.Va. Despite that, you have 70 ammo right now. She's not matrixing. You should be attacking. This is a really good opportunity to do like 150 plus damage. You have Vortex behind them, which I think is a decent Vortex. I think I like this. So you pop Nemesis instead of shielding first. I would say always shield before Nemesis because shield itself is such high value, and by the time Nemesis finishes, your shield will almost be up anyway. So shielding right here or over here to shield off the Ana would have been really, really, really good. Arguably fight winning if you just shield off the Ana. You get super low here. Again, you see how valuable shield would have been to reduce the damage you have taken. Now you're very, very low. You throw the shield, but too far back. I would have thrown the shield like right here instead of, see how it's not covering the right side. Cassidy should be your primary target. You had the opportunity to kill him. Alright, attacking. Yep, dodge missile, that's great. So again, lots of compulsive reloading. Like the D.Va's still available. You have 61 damage. Shoot the D.Va. Just shoot the D.Va. You're switching to Nemesis form. Again, as a reminder, your staff actually does more damage than Nemesis form does, and if you're shooting tanks, you're going to hit every shot, so you might as well just hit him with a staff. You're trying to punch the Mercy, I understand, but like there's almost no way that you can get that hit. Just focus the D.Va, that's fine. So you had a great opportunity to kill Baby D.Va right here. So, D.Va almost popped, kill the Baby D.Va. Kill the Baby D.Va. The bomb's already sealed off anyway. Oh man, Baptiste walks into it. Kill the Baby D.Va. You don't even pay attention to this at all. This is, I think, one of the few times where I think your inexperience in the game shows. Right? Like, you're still attacking this bomb even though it's invincible. Attacking the bomb does nothing. Just kill the Baby D.Va right here. You could have killed her so fast. Right? You're clearly surprised by this. Oh no. Popping ultimate here is the correct call. Right? This is the final fight on this point. You don't pop ultimate. Unfortunate. By the way, popping ultimate, the armor gain, goes through purple, anti-heal. You will still get it. You run up. Again, so impressive that your team is still managing to stall this point somehow. Yeah, I would say Baby D.Va's here. You should aim at Baby D.Va first. Anna's really far away. That's fine, right? Just shield her off or something and then go kill everyone else here. This shield's fine. Vortex also would have made this very easy. Alright, great. He's dead. Now, think, okay, where do I want to play? Well, they could come through castle, they can come through main. I would probably, depending on where my team's at, if I see my team has left side control, I'd probably play main. If my team doesn't have left side control, I'd probably play back here, just because I don't want to run the risk of them just walking through castle and capping right away. So I see Cassidy to the left, that's fine. You're going to rotate to the left. You see Cassidy's here, he's in trouble. Pretty hard to shield him off here. You sort of try, which is understandable. You see how low the Ana is. Okay, you're going to back here. There is the Reaper on top of you right now. You just need to block and walk away. Oh, actually, kill the Mercy first. Yeah, that's great. I'll take that. That's a good call. Just block and walk away. Yep. You don't need a Vortex necessarily. There's almost no way they can kill you with the supports. As long as you have a support here. Yeah, you're Baptiste. There's no way he could have killed you. You didn't even need the Vortex. Yep, damage the... I would have shielded off the Lucio right now. I would have shielded off Lucio and then walked forwards. because I would have prepared shielded. If they all push forward to try to fight him, I would have immediately popped Annihilation and killed the support. So you missed that opportunity right there. That would have been big to save your Lucio. Okay, he could have held back, especially if you save him, he could like knock the Reaper at by you a lot of time here. Again, as a reminder, pop shield before you use Nemesis form / Annihilation. You really should have used shield. A shield would be so good right now. That keeps you and the Baptiste alive for like another 4 seconds easily, and then everyone has to retreat from Nemesis form, Annihilation rather. I'd remember that the Ana was close to my left because you saw her going to the left room. You could have killed her really fast right now. And you know she doesn't have sleep because you saw her sleep your Lucio, so that Ana would be dead right now. You just turn to the left. 1, 2, go back to the fight. Alright, you're going to kill the Reaper. Going for the D.Va, who's your worst possible target. After you kill the Reaper, I would go back for the Ana. Instead, you go for the D.Va, which is a mistake. Right? She gets healed up. Right? You see the Ana's low. You're trying to look for an opportunity to kill her. You pop Nemesis, which is a good call. You should immediately start blocking. Not that you have much health to block with, but you know, that's the best option you had. Alright. So, somehow, this point is still... This is literally one of the best holds I've ever seen. I like... Every single one of these fights where you have died, I would assume that the point would be capped. It is incredible to me that it did not get capped. Anyway, try to throw Vortex right away. I understand that, and then I think you're just going to die here instantly. Yeah, there's not much you can do here. Alright, so, on to final point. You can come out as Rammatra. You see the Reaper... When I see the Reaper teleporting, I would stay there and start headshotting him while he's teleporting to lower him as much as possible for after he teleports. Alright, he's up there. Nothing you can do about that. It's simply not going to be your job to deal with it. So, you put the shield up. That's fine. Don't even worry about the Reaper. Like, you have to recognize, you can hear the shots are Reaper shots, and you can see that you only took 6 damage because you're too far away for the Reaper to injure you significantly. So you don't even turn for it. It's not worth it. Just focus on the rest of these 3 people. That's where your value is. Not the Reaper who's far away, and not the D.Va. The rest of the team. So you're going to be attacking right here with staff. I would use the entirety of this staff, right? Reload. I would not play this far away from the corner either. I think you need to play, especially with 2 people dead, you need to play for time here, right? You need to stay alive, get back, give your team time to spawn. You have spawn advantage here. Very, very important. You have spawn advantage. Use it. Now you've lost your Baptiste, so you're down 3, right? You're just being aggressive at the wrong times. Like, again, right now, 5-on-5, great time to be aggressive, right? Get up here, put damage, prevent these 4 people from doing anything. Right? The problem is, over here, you throw a shield, yeah, continue to be aggressive. That's fine. Like, the Reaper's not doing anything, this distracts you too much, you go for the wrong targets, and because you do this, look what happens after you turn around. Everybody starts walking forwards because you're no longer pressuring them back, which allows them to compress, and the Hanzo ends up getting more kills here as a result. So we'll look at it from the Hanzo's perspective. Right? I mean, again, if you've been there a little sooner, you could have pressured the Hanzo, prevented that kill. He starts attacking, right? Now you're not looking anymore. He's able to get the kill in the Ash. That's actually honestly pretty lucky. But then from here, it's pretty hard for you to do anything. And then you're in the awful situation of trying to recontest this point when they already have 5 alive on point. I think it's really, really tough. So right here, I would, especially knowing, like hearing my Lucio and Baptiste on point, I would Vortex the Ana and kill the Ana. I think that is your best call here, because you have to kill the supports, otherwise this fight's never going to end. I would shield off not the Ana, but myself, because a Nano Reaper is no joke, and will shred me. He'll kill me in like 2 hits, right? Without Nemesis form, he would die so fast. Incredible kills by your Cassidy, good block, and then I don't think they get a contest from there. Okay, so we'll stop there. Talking about Sigma, I would say, sorry, for the summary, I would say as Sigma, I would say play main more, right? Apply pressure when you are down as both heroes, right? As all tanks, try to either decide, look, do I need to die here? Or can I back up and reset as 5? Is a really important common theme that we've seen here on defense over and over and over again, where you're trying to fight 3v5 fights that have no chance of winning. And you should either die or retreat to regroup with your team, depending on which is possible. So that's kind of the big thing, right? But a Sigma, again, playing main, really, really important. Don't open with Flux, really important. Don't waste Flux. Don't waste Grasp, really important as well. And just, beyond that, I think it's otherwise fine. You're just kind of playing weird spots, but otherwise I think fine. On Rammatra, I think that you need to apply more pressure with staff, and then there's also a bunch of like little mistakes around like wasting shields, for example, is pretty big. I think that kind of screws you over a little bit. I'm trying to remember what else happens here. I think the shields probably stuck up the most. Like not saving teammates with shields, putting shields up when they're not being useful, shielding off the diva bomb and not killing the diva, things like that really adds up. I think the shield play is the single biggest thing I would highlight. But beyond that, I think there's also lots of little things that we talked about around like when to nemesis, who to be hunting down, etc. I will reiterate, I honestly do not think that this is an incorrect rank for you. Like this feels fine. Obviously, I haven't seen all your games. Like I'm not in all your games, but in this one game, which you told me is a loss, you seem fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Just keep playing. Cool. Hopefully this is helpful.